film sucks. Indie film sucks. It's the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Yeah.
Coming at you from the mean streets of St. Louis, from a basement on South Broadway, the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Because indie film is constantly changing.
Oh, man, you blew me for a loop there.
Holy cow. He what?
Right?
Blew me for a loop.
Okay.
That's what all the kids are saying nowadays.
Way to start off the show. Way to start it off. And Greg, that
6'7", Mackie.
that take two
That's
was
gonna
great.
age well.
6'7".
Oh,
That's
God.
what my kids are doing.
That's gonna age real well.
I don't even know what that means, but
I don't either. But
Anyway.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
Sit down.
Settle down. Everybody settle down. Hey, this is the Indie Film Sucks podcast.
Hi.
If this is your first time listening, welcome.
We are
Subscribe,
here to blow you away.
Tell your friends, and check us out on indiefilm.com. My name is...
No. IndieFilmSucks.com.
indiefilmsucks.com.
Thank you.
Check us out on indiefilmsucks.com.
Take three.
No,
Okay.
not take three. Kidding me? This is all live, baby. All right. Hey, my name's Mackie. This is Grega. We got Brock Roberts over here, and what is that? Third base, first base, third base over there, and we got a new player.
Yeah.
She is going to leave.
She is going to leave. Yeah, she already tried to leave a couple times.
Oh, man, I'm having a blast.
We're going to call her Brittani.
What?
That is
That's
her
her
name.
Oh, man.
Because that's your name.
With an eye.
With an I, Brittani with an I, sitting over in first base to my right. So a little bit different, a little bit setup. Love the new setup. This is episode number 88.
Boom.
As an 88 millimeter Productions. New table. New member of the cast that's going to be joining us to shoot the crap with us every once in a while. So appreciate you joining us. So should we ask her the famous question?
I believe you mean shoot the poop.
Shoot the poop. Shoot the poop. We're going to shoot the poop with you.
They can't say shit.
Why
We
not?
can't say shit.
can't
Huh?
This
say
side of the
shit.
table is not saying anything
I
like
can.
that. You can. Well, go for it.
I'm just going to be me. I slip up and say stupid shit all the time.
Yeah, that is very true, Brock.
I'm just saying what you said earlier. So
I'm bringing it back around.
Okay.
I'm bringing it back around
To the loop.
to go. Should we ask Brittany the famous question?
Please.
Okay, let's move on with this. All right, Brittany, welcome to the podcast. And what's your suck?
Oh.
My suck is I tend to say yes to too many things. And so I get...
That's how you found yourself here.
Yeah, that is how I
We're
found
so
myself.
sorry.
I was gonna go right down that path right there and just go, we're sorry.
No, that has been a suck of mine for a really long time, but this year is the year that I get it under control. So I'm only doing things that I feel like are kind of in alignment with what I want to be doing, who I want to be doing it with, and so on and so forth. So that's typically what my suck
Well,
leans
congratulations.
toward.
And you're starting here?
And
Wow.
so this is
Well,
one
hey,
you've actually
you're-
consciously said yes to.
This is a good start. This is a
Yeah.
good start. I feel positive vibes.
That's so do I. When she's picking and choosing what she has to do, and this is one of the ones she spends the time with.
It is court mandated community service.
It is,
Just
yeah.
to be clear.
Wait,
Fair.
what did I do?
What? Exactly. You just went around.
So to
She is going to leave.
so to talk about what you just said, elaborate a little bit, because I think I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
but
I think it's very relevant to being an actor, but also it could be relevant to other filmmakers too. But I feel like early on in my acting career, I lived in New York for 4 years, and then when I came back, and even then, I just like would hustle to the point where I didn't really care what I was doing, who I was doing with it. I was like, I just got to do this because this is what's going to make me feel like I'm actually pursuing it. And so I'm like constantly trying to do all these different projects, no matter if it's something that I really care about or not. And it got me to the point where I was in New York when 2020 hit, so when pandemic hit, and then I realized when everything shut down and I was like, yes, I can breathe. I was like, something's wrong with that. So I was like happy that everything shut down. So it kind of made me reevaluate kind of how I was pursuing things. And at the time I was pursuing mostly theater, and theater in New York, pursuing that is not an easy feat. There's lots of hurdles to jump, and it's very taxing and exhausting. But much like indie filmmaking, it is very similar to that in being exhausting. But coming back to St. Louis, I realized that, again, I was kind of in the new space of film when I was trying to pursue that. And I would just say yes to everything, all the free projects, all the everything. And I think that there's something to say about just gaining the experience, right? But I do think there is, even early on, this is something that I wish I know now, I wish I would have known then, is just being a little bit more particular and specific on my goals is what I want to be working on, what I want to be doing. And then even though you have all of the opportunities coming at you, just because you have them doesn't mean you do them. And just because you are slower or being more particular doesn't mean you're not active. It just means you're being more strategic with your time and your energy. Yeah. And I think it's a privilege to get to that point, but at the same time, I do think I could have been choosier earlier on. I wouldn't change it, but I spend a lot of time talking about that now to people who are, starting out, because I feel like it's important to value your time and your energy and who you spend your time around, how they show up with their time and energy, and go from there. So
yeah, when you get to the point you're at now where you get to choose your projects because you want them, you can put way more energy into it, and you're more proud of doing it, and you're not on set going, what did I get myself into?
It becomes a resentment.
It does.
Yeah. If you say yes to something, even if your gut, which I didn't listen to for a long time, which is why this is the year that I actually listened to it, because it's there, right? The radar is there. It's always been there, but it's not always been trusted. So you end up in positions where you're like, I really don't want to be here. And then you're not able to do your best work. And that's not good for anyone involved.
No, and that can go for any line of work, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I've been there, on the other side of acting and business where, man, I just don't feel like I'm in the right place. And you pivot.
Yeah, and we talk about that a lot on here as independent working filmmakers working by, we have other jobs.
Right.
We talk about work-life balance a lot on here, and that's one of the things we hear from a lot of folks is there a FOMO? Is there a fear of missing out a little bit? Because I know I have that a little bit, and I've worked on that a little bit from my side of things, but I like to be involved in everything, and it's fun, but you forget how much of a grind it is and how much time it does suck. So is it a FOMO for you?
It can be, yeah. It can be fear of missing out. Like, what if, if you say no to something, what if that... A lot of it for me comes down to people pleasing. And so if I fear that if I turn down an opportunity from someone, they're going to think that I'm a diva or I'm whatever number of things that people could think.
What does she have going on?
If you say, like, I'm sorry, I'm not accepting non-paid projects right now, unless it's very specific to what my particular goals are at the time, I never want to come off in a way that puts me in that light. I know that that's not what I'm thinking, but other people don't. And the thing that I've learned the most is setting the boundaries and being upfront and honest and transparent about that. Either A, gains respect from the people, or B, doesn't, and that's both information. So it's like information from both sides. It's like, okay, cool, I'd love to still work with this person in the future. Keep me in mind, whatever. And then on the flip side, I've had people be disrespectful about setting a boundary and get completely thrown out of the water on it. And then I'm like, okay, that tells me that I set the right boundary,
Well, that's something. I heard something very interesting the other day, because you're right. Not every offer is an opportunity.
Yeah.
So I heard something that was essentially saying tomorrow is not one day more, that's one day less that you have.
Man.
Right?
That's kind of a glass half empty mindset.
Pause on that for a second.
But it's true.
I like to live my life glass half full.
But time is running out.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. We are,
I'm in denial.
This is your first show, Greg. Greg. This is Greg.
I know.
The glass is empty.
No, there's one drop of water,
Negative.
and he's wondering when you should drink it.
There's no bottom.
Yeah, okay,
There's no
the
bottom.
glass is broken
He
and
just
being
keeps
used
looking.
as a weapon. That's where that is.
Oh my gosh.
No, the point
It's
is
a good statement.
The point is you have to measure what things are worth, because
Yep.
You don't have infinite time. You don't have infinite energy. And look, I've been doing this for a long time. There are people right now who can call me up and say, hey, can you come out and help me with this? And I will do it without any hesitation. I'm like, let's make it work out. And no, money, you don't have to pay me a nickel.
Yep.
And they would do the same for me. But there are other people that I don't have that trust with. I don't have that relationship with. And yeah, I don't know what they have done or what they will do. So it's like, my time is not worth nothing. And if I don't know what you're going to provide, I'm not going to offer it up to you for nothing.
Yeah.
So I'll throw something out, and I don't disagree with you, Grega, and I think that's a learned thing.
Sure.
So talking from different, and I don't know how long you've been doing this, Brittany, but you look at different experience levels, starting out, the mid guy, the veteran, doing this, but St. Louis is small.
It is very small.
And the community is small. It's bigger than I thought, and since we started doing this, and we're introduced to a lot more creative people through this podcast and what we're doing with 88mm Productions. Do you feel that smallness, and I'll throw this out to the group, do you feel that community is so small, starting out, Grega, Brock, your experience, and even where you're at, Brittany, that you almost feel like you need to say yes because you don't know when the next things come in, or you want to connect with people? Does that play into it at all?
When you first start out, you should say yes more than no. When you don't have that level of experience, when you don't have any connections, you should put yourself out there and do a bunch of stuff. And let's say you want to be a key grip, not even acting. That's your desire. Then, you work on sets as a PA, you do it for free. You don't say, well, according to what the industry is paying. Like, look, man, how many things have you done? Fuck you. I'm not going to pay you $300 a day to
teach you how to do your job.
Teach you how to do your job.
Right.
That being said, once you get to a certain point, depending on what you want to do, if you want to be a union crew member, then you should be making union pay. If you want to be a professional actor, you should be making some type of scale. Again, this is going to vary from project to project and person to person, but even if you're doing something for quote unquote free, you should never be doing it for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that goes back to really determining what your goal is in any stage of the career. Like if you're an actor who's just starting out, like when I was an actor just starting out back here in St. Louis for film specifically, because I did like a couple of things, student film projects in New York, but when I came back, my number one goal was to get on set. No matter what way it was, it just so happened to be that it was almost always exclusively acting. And to answer your question about like the smallness, I just had this conversation with somebody today. I feel like I did the 48-hour film project. I did that, what was that? The fall of 2021. That was my first like film thing back here in St. Louis. I did that, and I swear almost every job that I've gotten in the St. Louis area in some way, shape, or form has come from somebody from that set. Mm-hmm. And so to speak to the smallness of the city, if you show up, you do good work, you're nice, you're like we were talking about the other day, you're willing to kind of put yourself in a position to say yes, as often as you can without losing any kind of self-respect or anything like that for yourself, which I think could be practiced a little bit more in certain cases. But it's small here, and then you have other people who know other people in different places, and it's just like it's a domino effect.
Yeah, so talent will get you work.
Yeah.
So like you said, you've gotten a lot of work just from one job, and that's how it works for people who can actually act and do their job really well. And especially if you're a really good person to be around on set and are professional and everything. And I have experienced the same thing. When you get on a set, most of my movie stuff in St. Louis, I hardly ever auditioned for.
Right, right.
Like national commercials, that's different, but that's all different. It's totally different than filmmaking, and especially independent filmmaking. But if you're a professional in every aspect when you're on set, showing up on time, and all the stuff you're supposed to do and not be that diva. There are some actors I've seen, they get on set and they're like in a hurry to get off the set because they think they got something more special to do.
Oh man.
And no, you focus here, And
yeah, that's
people
wild
see that.
to me. I think there are deeper reasons to that, but it's wild to me that anyone thinks that because of how difficult it is to just get on set in general. I am like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever.
They forget they work their ass off.
Right.
This
And
is so
same with
crazy. This is literally what I put in all the work for.
I'll give it all to
I'm so
this
excited to be
project,
here. I don't
yeah.
ever want to leave. It's like a bubble.
Yeah, and that doesn't just stay with acting. That's also crew members, everything in the whole independent film world, man. If you're good, you're going to get your name out there, and you can say no.
Yeah.
And there's not a problem with that. I'm glad I've said no to a lot of things because after you say no and you see the project, you're like, damn, I'm so glad that I did get this.
And I think, Brittany, you summed it up nice, is what are your goals? So to the young listeners out there, the up-and-comers or people that are trying to figure it out, is understand what are your goals. And your goals could be say yes to everything, build an experience like you said, Grega, right? I think that's key.
And I think reevaluating them often is pertinent to leaving yourself not burnt out. And it's funny that you said work-life balance earlier because I actually don't believe in balance. I don't believe that exists, but that's just me.
I've had that same argument. He didn't believe me.
What?
I don't believe it
Remember
exists.
that? No, yes, we did. We did on a certain topic. Go back and find it on indie film sites.
Yeah, good luck.
Go back and find that one.
What episode would that be?
Great conversation, number 56. If I do remember correctly, Brock and I with a nice discourse.
Are you serious? It's actually
balance. Yes.
that's actually the number?
Yes,
That is,
Brittany,
yes.
I have a photographic memory and I do not forget anything.
Sometimes I wonder if I have a slight photographic memory because when I'm like thinking of sides,
definitely do not.
This is going to be fun because she is absolutely believing me.
This is a long conversation about her suck.
Well, that's what we do,
It's
though.
good.
We
It's
bring it
good.
on. We that's why we brought her on.
Yeah.
This is the best we've ever done, actually.
I think so. I'm glad you're here. Got anything else? I mean, shit.
This is a special. This is a special 88th edition.
88 millimeter.
Yeah, of this. So
cool.
we're pulling out all the
I mean,
guns.
I literally learned
all the
about
guns.
88 millimeter through social media.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I forget. I think because Jackie Kelly and I go back in doing Polar Express together.
Okay.
And when
I just did that.
Soupy did some Polar Express.
Yeah.
No, but as a participant or as an actor?
No. I rode the train downtown.
Oh,
Yeah.
you rode the train.
Yeah, and I didn't do the
Hot
show.
chocolate.
Anyway,
I thought you were like a conductor or something.
Back to
I was
the
like,
topic.
interesting.
Back to the
Yeah, so
topic.
Jackie and I mean, we met doing the Polar Express. And I remember, it's so cool to like think about full circle now because like Jackie and I get together all the time and just talk about filmmaking and things like that. I just did her feature Hag, so I'm like excited to see that. But I remember sitting on the train before one of our shifts. She was literally just chilling. We just got done making our hot chocolate. And I was like, okay, can you tell me everything there is to know about like St. Louis filmmaking? Because I know that you're like the scream queen here, and I know that you've done this. And I looked up to her, so I still look up to her because she's just such a dope person. But like, I remember having that conversation, and to come full circle to like be working with her on her feature last year was like super cool. But I forgot where this was going.
Well, I
What
can't
were we
imagine
talking
So
about?
social media.
Oh yeah.
Social media.
So I think what happened was I saw a plethora of people post about Red Night Skies and the premiere at High Point. Was that?
Yes.
High Point?
Yes.
Yeah. And so I came to the premiere and I saw that. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
did
that's
you?
really cool. Yeah. And then I think at that point is probably when I started following Grega. I don't think I knew about you, and I knew about you because you were in the movie. No offense. Were you in the movie too? Oh, you were in the movie.
Nah, just
He
a
had the
got
great.
cut out of that.
He had the great big role.
little cameo there. I was just holding it
Oh,
all
I'm
together.
so sorry. You know what? That's
okay.
for making me believe you were lying.
I'm the one who directed Brock Roberts' character to go check out the movie and see my character direct him to the chaos that
Yeah.
ensues.
I just
Where can
can't
you find
get-
the movie?
Huh? Okay, she's trying to give us a plug. Trying to give us a plug.
Let's
Tell us,
see.
Greg.
Amazon, Tubi,
Right?
Fossum,
Yeah.
bunch of other places I
Awesome.
can't remember.
Is it Fandango?
Fandango.
Oh,
Is it on
dang,
Plex?
okay. Yeah.
Probably.
Plex.
So I saw that, and then I started following, I think both 88 and Grega, and then I just same thing with a couple other filmmakers around here. I just would somewhat interact with posts, but also just kind of like watch things kind of unfold. And then Grega posted about, are you saying the title of the movie? Are we saying the title of the movie?
The new
The new
one.
movie.
The new movie.
That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
The new
The
movie,
new
okay.
project by
yeah,
88
so the new,
Millimeter Productions.
yeah, I saw Grega post about that, and I was like, I actually don't even know if I'm old enough or look old enough to play this role, but I'm gonna do it because why not? So
Well, you pulled it off on the audition tapes. We all watched
You got the
them.
part.
We did. Yes.
You killed it.
Thanks.
Good job.
I had a lot of fun with that tape because I was like, I'm gonna play with my lights. That was a fun. I like to. I live in a loft, so typically tape during the day because it's just like natural light and big windows. But I taped that one at night because I was like, I want to play with my lights.
But speaking about what you said before, we rarely at this point do auditions
Sure.
Yeah, I saw that.
True.
I saw that in your post. You mentioned that
because
you have your bubble. You have your people you count on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that all goes back to Amphetamine, which we shot in 2001. So that was, 25 years ago?
That's where I met you.
That's where we met. And everyone the main people who were cast in that film ended up working in a lot of our stuff over the years. And then you meet people through those people and so on and so forth. So once you have your solid core of actors, you pretty much go back to the well over and over again.
Yeah, and you're probably writing with those people in mind too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do, but I don't disagree with you, so don't take this the wrong way. I also think that to expand,
Yes, sometimes you have to get out of that bubble.
which we did with Red Knight. I thought we did a good job with that.
Yeah.
That movie was there was a lot of people in that movie.
Yes, and a few
It's a pretty
others.
big cast, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, huge cast. Huge. Yeah. It was probably our biggest. Well, besides some of the earlier
besides
stuff.
Rhineland.
The biggest paid.
yeah.
The biggest paid.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The biggest, right? So when you're paying, which is important, you have
helps.
to be very selective on filling positions and
You only
filling
have so much time. You got to hit it.
Exactly. So I'll take that comment, Brock, and go back to what you said is, if you're professional on set, and I would just say you just have to be known, whether you're cast or crew, as somebody who's dependable, who's going to show up, and it's there for that person's project to play your part in it, right? Come prepared. I heard an interview with Tom Hanks, and he's like, my job is to know my lines.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's my job. I have to show up and I have to be prepared to do this because I realize everybody else has to know their part. So the lighting guy has to know his part and the DP has to know his part. And if anybody's waiting on anybody else, it's just, so I think that's key to what you said, Brock, on the
It's so funny
professionalism.
because my anxiety will convince me that like I'm going to be the most underprepared person, so I will be 3 times as prepared as people when I get there, but not realize it until we're in it.
We'll see.
No, your line is this. You're feeding lines to the other person that's not
I've
prepared.
done that.
I guess we'll see,
unfortunately,
Greg.
I guess we'll see.
I say take this cut and break this
there's
out.
not
and
really
we'll play
lines
back.
in this movie. I'm just kidding for the stuff that I am doing.
Man.
I guess.
Wow.
Giving away everything.
Man.
Sorry, cut it out. Cut it out.
I'll say this. The most important quality anyone can have, cast, crew, anyone, is dependability.
I agree.
That is more important
I
than
agree.
talent. That is more important than anything else. If you can't be reliable, if you can't show up, I used to say this, look, I could have Joe Blow or I could have Robert De Niro. If Robert De Niro ain't going to show up, then he does me no good.
Right.
Right, or if he's prima donna, or he's tough, or he's difficult, or there's something else going on. Now,
I think early on I heard somebody say something about like, be somebody that people would want to spend 12 hours a day with. If you can't do that, it's going to be a rough go.
Yeah.
or the biggest accomplishment you get is he's fun on set. He comes prepared, right? We hear that all the time about 88 millimeter sets are fun. They're hardworking, but we're professional. We're prepared, and I think there's something to say about people's sets too. When talent does get on and crew does get on, that you're ready to go for them as well. Because I wouldn't expect somebody to work on our stuff if we were POSs, right?
Well, would you know you were a POS if you
Has
were
he
a
been
POS?
on our shoots before?
I have been.
No,
And
but
they've got
Do
significantly
people that
better
are
systems.
POSs know they're POSs? I don't know.
I don't know. Did Hitler know he was bad?
No, of
I don't
course
think
they
he
don't.
thought he was a great guy.
And we kind of talked
They're
about
just
that.
convinced of a different truth.
Is they're not there for the project, but in my real world job, we talk about expectations, and you set expectations.
That's another
and-
thing going back to if you're expecting someone to do something for free, at the very least, on the production side, if you can be as prepared as possible or transparent. Like,
Yes.
this is my first movie. This is what you can expect. And if you don't know the answers to the questions that somebody maybe that has more experience and you want them to be a part of it, I would say ask somebody who would know the answers to help you figure those answers out, because it's like automatically a no if you don't have the answers for those things, you know?
Yes, I do know.
And never offer deferred pay. Deferred pay is no pay.
No, I agree, but I think we're very transparent.
Yeah, you have to be.
And it's a learned thing. It's a learned thing because I think you're so...
I'll take deferred pay and upfront pay.
Well, you're only going to get one of those
and
two.
I'll give you IMDb credits too, so
Ooh,
exactly.
Copy credit and meals.
Copy, credit, and meal.
Yeah.
No shade on that, because that's all people can offer, but... I did recently see... I get a little confused sometimes because I did recently see a filmmaker who posted a casting notice saying that it was going to be unpaid, but then literally the next day made a post about their services and asking people to hire them, and I was very confused because I was like, I don't understand. I mean, I know you need to make money to spend money, but also it's like, I don't know, $50?
That's
like $50
a huge,
a day?
huge pet peeve of mine, because I know some people who are very much, you have to work for this amount of money, and this is a paid gig, and if it's not a paid gig, you don't do it, you walk. Then when they do their film, hey guys, this is a volunteer project.
Right.
Like, whoa, wait a second, man, now, you just said you got to be paid X amount to work on a film, but when it's your film and you're in charge, well, you can't afford anyone, but hey, we're going to submit to festivals. Like,
I guess the only thing that I could consider that being like okay or maybe like makes sense is if like it's a new avenue for you that you've never really done before, and you're looking for other people at that same level that are just trying to create something for the first time. That makes sense to me, even if you've been paid for other aspects of it.
But that's the transparency of the expectation.
Yes,
and go, hey, guys, I'm trying something new. I don't know how it's going to go.
I've never done this before.
I want
I'm
12
gonna be
more
honest,
people to just
I'll be
join
able
me.
I'll be able to feed you. I'll be able to... I mean, honestly, I love food.
If
you can bring some good food, I'll be there. But it's also got to be in alignment with what I want to be working on.
And I think that's fine, but I think you can also expect more by paying, like being on time, not making sure the schedule works, coming prepared. No, I don't know.
I don't agree with that. If you agree to do a project, whether it's paid or unpaid, then your agreement shouldn't change. Whether you're getting it shouldn't. If I say I'm going to do this film for you, and I know it's a non-paid gig, and I say I'm going to do it.
If you commit to something, you should follow through. So let's leave it there, right?
If you commit to something, you should follow through.
Well,
if you
I guess
don't
that's where the...
I agree with that.
If you don't want to do it,
but if I get on set and it's for somebody else, and somebody else's vision is my demise because I'm there for 16 hours, then I could be like, hey, dude, didn't know I was going to be here for 16 hours because you didn't tell me.
These are where the questions come in,
Exactly.
though.
So that's the difference.
I've done a lot of things that I ended up resenting,
I'm not here for
and
your
now know the questions to
convenience.
ask.
I'm not here for your convenience or to make you a star. I'm here to make a project work, and if you're unprepared, it doesn't mean because I'm prepared. So I think there's a balance there.
Well, it's a transparency thing. We go back to that.
I agree. So,
but it also comes down to experience, knowing, because I mean, I've done projects where I didn't know that this was going to end up being that way. And in some cases, how could you, right? Like, you just never know. But at the same time, you can be upfront and ask questions. And then if they don't know the answers to that question, you make the decision of like, okay, you are either going to do it or you're not. And if you say you're going to do it, you cannot show up with a bad attitude because you made that decision.
That's the transparency and the upfront thing.
But I think it comes with experience, though, because I now there's non-negotiable questions that I ask on almost every project before I even consider auditioning.
What is a sample question you might ask?
I asked one today. I asked, first of all, they mentioned that it was a paid project, but they didn't say how much. So I asked for clarification on that. And then I asked about like how long they're anticipating shooting, how many days would this role shoot for, on top of what the pay rate is travel and lodging covered if it's out of town. It involves some stunts. So is there a coordinator present? Is there any intimacy? Is there a coordinator present? Like all of these questions that kind of come up that I wouldn't have known the questions to ask even 3 or 4 years ago because I didn't have the experience. But now I have the experience because I've had enough experiences on set. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. But to be fair, and I think I was telling you guys this at coffee the other day, I've had almost exclusively really good experiences here in St. Louis. Like, I really have not worked with anybody bad. Like, I've had some really, really positive experiences, and
That's
so
good to hear.
I'm grateful for that. Yeah, so hopefully you don't fuck it up.
Well,
Well, we'll try not to fuck it up.
Just kidding. I don't think so. I don't think we will.
have you had any bad experiences on a set?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple. I've done a couple of, and this is where I think there's nuances too, because some student projects were rougher on the edges in terms of like planning and preparation. And so when you show up, when you have actors that show up and are like ready to go and ready to do the thing, and then everything is really, really terrible, and like you also have somebody who comes with a hard out, and you're like, I said I have this time, I have to be out by this time, and I know things happen, but it can be really challenging, and that is where I start to dip into I have to really like challenge my thoughts
Your
in those
niceness.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I like to play the villains because I get to express that in a healthy way. But I have to challenge myself to accept the situation as it is, but still be like, okay, I've learned my lesson on this.
Here's something that not a lot of people think about. See, everybody wants to make movies because it's, they love movies. Movies are exciting. Movies are fun. And, movies are a great time. Not everybody is cut out to make movies.
I agree. I mean, I think that's to be said in a lot of...
You find that out pretty quick
places.
with some of the crew members on the first
Absolutely.
day.
To be honest, if I were in crew, I don't know that I would be cut out for it either. Because I work... Every time I'm on, particularly on an indie film set, and the amount of time, crew shows up before actors, they leave after actors, they're constantly going. I don't know if I could do it, to be honest.
Well, that's a phenomenon I like to call set time.
Yeah.
So set time, if you're in the cast, it's like dragging. You're like here
sometimes,
forever.
but
It's like, man,
depends on what you're doing.
These idiots don't know what they're doing. They're disorganized. I could do this so much
gosh,
better.
I never think
This is
that.
taking so long.
I have.
And then when you're on the crew side, not the cast side, it's like going like that.
There's
That's
not enough
true,
time.
There's not enough
yeah,
time.
That's true.
It's like, what time is it? It's 1
I can
o'clock.
only
We just
imagine.
got here. It was 7 like 5 minutes ago.
I thought we were doing lunch at 11. Now it's 2. We
Yeah.
still haven't called it.
No,
Yeah.
I thought that early in my acting career, a long time ago, obviously. But yeah,
You learn to bring stuff to do, particularly if you're not super active.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we do pretty well is like when we have a call time for an actor, we know their scene's not going to be shot at 8 o'clock. We're not going to have them show up at 6 o'clock. You know what I mean?
God bless.
Have them sit most of the
Bless
time.
you.
It happens every now and again, but
Those are the aspects that are, again, managing your expectations of like,
It's something that you
this is-
learn.
But we learned. Thank you. It's a
But
it's a
here's
learned
the thing. I know why people do it, because most people are inherently unreliable. It's like, man, I got to get all these people here under my control, under my eyesight, so I know that they'll be here.
That's true, yeah. I can see that's an anxiety. That sounds
It
like
is an anxiety thing.
anxiety.
And Greg, if I wasn't behind, not the camera, but on production for Red Knighted Skies, I would still have a different opinion about that whole thing. That's why it was important for me to be a producer on that,
And
to see that side of it and go, now I know where to help. Now I'm going to hope to dedicate time.
Those days go by fast.
Well, exactly. But now I get on Rhineland why things the way they were. And that was way less funded and personnel, right? The hats you were wearing.
A collaborative effort. It literally cannot get done without everyone.
And if you don't put you should do more pre-time.
Oh,
and
I agree.
planning
I agree.
than the day shooting. If you're not
Yeah.
doing, I don't know what the formula is or the times
You're winging
X.
it every time.
Yeah, the times
Yeah.
X that you need to do. Is it, if you're going to shoot for 5 days, should you pre-plan for 25 days?
Maybe.
Or more.
they don't have the budget for that.
It depends what you're shooting, right? If you're shooting a conversation in a room at a table, you don't have to pre-plan that out
Like this?
very hard. Like
No,
this.
but if it's like a
Explosion and cars and all this
scene
crap.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, you
But
got a lot
I'm
of
talking about the
blocking.
core production, like you, me, and Brock. We talk every day on the phone about stuff. That to me, that's pre-production. That's driving the project forward every single time, because you're making. I'm not talking about the formal when you have your management staff or your department heads and those types of things. Then you're in technically real pre-production.
Yeah.
But it's that working it out. You're not working the script when you have the cast there. Right?
think-
That's all been done.
I hope not,
You're
but it
saying
does
it's like
happen.
you're working out the kinks before you get on set and other kinks arise.
Well, yeah,
Almost.
you have to be because
Because inevitably there will be kinks.
But if you have
double kinks, that's
thank you. Yes, if
That
you
sounds
have
dirty.
kinks that you didn't prepare
We
for,
understand.
then when the kink does come up,
Buy a new hose.
You're screwing up, right? You're everybody's going to be screwed because I thought we did a really good job on Red Knight, and yet I think we're learning more on this next project of things we could do better. We're always constantly learning about what
that's
we
one of
could
my favorite
do.
things about this work.
Because my thing is
I feel like I'm always learning.
I have to put, as a producer, I have to put a project out there that's going to return an ROI for my investors and hopefully entertain the audience, right? You put it in whatever order you're in. If I entertain the audience, I'm going to get an ROI, right? So that's first and foremost from a production
Oh
side.
no.
Technically.
Yes.
Okay.
Theoretically.
Yeah, but okay, then you can throw in all the marketing and all the stuff with the distribution. But let's just say theoretically that's what you do.
Yes.
Second thing is how do I have a professional set? And how do I make this so it's a good experience for everybody, cast and crew, understanding there's going to be things, but everybody comes on and your job is your job. So that's what I like to do. And it may run over.
Ooh, this
but,
is interesting.
Yeah, but I want to
because-
stay because this guy, I just saw how this guy made this work. And I was in the green room the whole time, and the guy kept coming in, checking in on me, and seeing how things were going, letting me know, hey, we're gonna have a 2-hour break. Why don't you just go do something, and let me, that's the experience I want to do because I want people to go, man, 88 millimeter was a hell of a set to work on. They were professional, they were prepared, and it was still an indie film, though. We get it. There's hiccups, there's low budget, there's everything else. So
I think that's one of the hardest things about indie filmmaking for me that I've noticed. I think as an actor, we can have a lot of downtime, so we can see a lot of like the workings of things. Something that I've noticed is when there isn't a person thinking about all of that stuff, but there are a couple people thinking about too many things, it gets really muddy. Like if you don't have somebody who is focused on the operational side of things and that is their sole job, it gets really muddy really fast, which is how things I sometimes feel.
Like an incompetent first AD.
hey-o.
Sorry.
Sounds like you're speaking
It's
from
happened.
experience.
It happens in the industry, Brock. I'll tell
But
you
I just
that.
noticed because of the way that independent filmmaking works, there's often people wearing multiple hats, which
Oh, yeah.
makes sense. I mean, I've done that too. I wore multiple hats on the 48-hour film project this past year for the first time, and I was like, nope,
I love
not
it.
again. I
love
don't
it.
want to do it. But I'm really good. I think I would make a really good producer or whoever it is that makes sure that everybody knows where they need to be when, like coordinating in some kind of thing, because I think about a lot of little things that people don't think about. And I think there needs to be one person who does that. And that's their only job. And if you can have that, I
hired.
bet that everything,
Yeah, exactly.
everything will be even like not saying perfect, but it will be better because there will be better communication. There will be better.
You do. You need,
Everything.
well, in my opinion.
And if there's somebody directing and doing that and whatever, it gets really, and it's not anybody's fault. It just
you.
is what it is.
That's what you were doing. And this is Red Knight was like the first film where Brock and I,
Got to help out.
and
a
sometimes
little
the
bit.
Brock's demise because you carried a heavy weight on that because I was learning how to
We did it.
produce.
We all did it.
We all did it. But we allowed Grega to direct.
Focus. Yeah.
And Stanzi to DP and let them have that collaboration. Not saying he wasn't involved because you had to
Oh,
be
sure.
involved in the production decisions where we all pulled off. But
It goes back to that. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
well, exactly, and you're a good job. It's your job, man. Go for it. If somebody has a job, you're like, let them run with it, and let's just do it.
Yeah,
right?
find people that can do the job and trust them and let them do their job.
And I thought we did. You and I talk. Your statement there brought me back to a project Greg and I just worked on for a guy who he's a writer, and I hope to have him on the show. Joey Clark,
yeah.
Jr. Writer, wants to get more into a little bit of the directing things and kind of control what his stuff looks like to possibly help him either write better or to use his stuff to show people he's trying to sell his writing to what the project could be like, right? It's ever changing, this world, and what we have to do. But he brought me on as a producer and somebody he knows. He saw Red Knight. He was a big supporter of that and loved it. And he brought me on, and I brought Greg on. And just our presence, I think, on that set, which Joey was prepared as hell. And he brought in good talent and good crew. And,
He did.
And he had professionals on the set. But what we took off of his plate, I thought helped tremendously. And I think to your point is having those folks that can allow somebody to do that for his first time. You know, I thought that was important for Joey. That he didn't have to go through what I saw you go through on a lot of your stuff.
Well, Rhineland was just an exercise in utter insanity.
So, would you compare that to amphetamine then?
You know, amphetamine.
He didn't know anything then.
I didn't.
Everybody was just
He
having.
didn't know any better?
Everybody was
Right.
kind of in the same boat, going, "This is cool as hell."
Well, back then, it really,
I mean, it
really
was, but I mean, it was. Man,
You were just too stupid, and I mean, really, I don't
Absolutely.
say I don't say it like that, but you know,
if I could redo the first 5-6 years of my directing career, I wish I could, because I learned so much. It's like ignorance is bliss, right? I mean, there was a crew on amphetamine. You know, we had a first AD and a second AD, and but everyone was so raw that, you know, it just
Fresh out of the womb.
fresh out of the womb.
Well, back then, independent filmmaking was just starting. Most people couldn't do it.
I mean, in this region anyway.
Yeah.
that's what I was just going to say.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's always existed.
So it was a big thing for St. Louis, huge thing.
So this kind of, I want to ask you a question, Grega.
Okay.
Because
Oh.
you sent me 35 Days, right? So I watched it.
Yes.
And it's very clear that the voice of that is a lived experience story, right? But I think the question for me is, what do you think it is about? And I also watched another one of your podcast episodes of the 95% versus the 5%, or in your case, the 3%.
Yeah.
So what do
5%.
you think it is about the filmmaking that
That goes on that
it
one.
can be so challenging, but still everybody's bitten by the bug and just wants to keep doing it? What do you think that is?
Well, and again, everyone is not bitten by the bug.
That's true. Yeah, I agree.
Plenty of people, they do this and they're like, this is not
And
for me.
that's cool.
And that's
That's
fine.
okay.
That's fine
Yeah.
because
There's
you
no
know,
shame. I don't
most
think.
people love movies. Most people grow up watching movies. So you see that and then you think, I want to do that. I want to tell stories. And then when you go to do it, and you don't come from wealth, you don't come from connections, you basically come from nothing, then you see just how hard it is to do this. It's very difficult to get anything that looks like a quote unquote real movie. It's very difficult. So I think you have to have a driving need, and it's got to be a need to have a story go from your head to the screen. And there are moments that I've experienced, I can't speak to everyone, but there are moments throughout all of my films when I just kind of step back outside of myself, when I have 200 people rushing a hilltop with explosions going off, and I'm like, wow, I did this. These people are doing this because I had this idea. And that's pretty cool. And there's been every film that I've done, there's been a moment where I'm like, man, this is really cool. This is really cool shit. You know, it's fleeting.
It's a movie magic.
It's movie magic because it has to be fleeting,
And
because
it's addictive.
It's addictive. It is very addictive to have the power to
It is a little bit like
shape
gambling,
something.
I suppose.
Like gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think about that
Well, the
Like
money part of
losing.
it.
in the case of I think of that in the case of auditioning, constantly auditioning, and just I think you have to really disassociate yourself with the outcome sometimes and just be like, okay, I've gotten really good at being able to just oh, cool, an audition. Oh, cool, I'm really excited about this. Do the audition and then be like, wait, what audition? Just because I think I have to do that, or I will get it's the good version of addiction rather than the unhealthy version of obsessing over every aspect of every audition and then rewatching the tape 20 million times. You're like, oh my god, is this
There's
good
also
enough?
a side for me, and you may have this too, is you see this magical thing of making movies, and most people can't do it, or you're told it can't be done. You can't do it. And man, that drives the shit out of me. I mean, I'm driven to prove people wrong. I love acting. But
for you or for them?
What do you mean?
Like to prove them wrong for you or for them?
Both. Oh. So it's not my sole driving force as an actor, but in any business, and business is tough no matter what business it is.
I think I agree.
And to be successful, you really got to say, I can do this, and I'm going to prove that guy.
You got to be a little delusional. I love delusional. Being delusional.
Well, it's like Michael Jordan. He got so good at what he did, and this is written about and talked about, so it's nothing new coming out of my voice. But he got so good. He used to make up stories about other players on the court saying shit about him, and he'd
to drive him.
To drive him.
Yeah.
To drive him.
I heard
so
that.
yeah, because he needed to be driven, and part of his driving force was people doubting him.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I mean,
I think I agree with the fact that if it's something that can't be done, I think my driving force is community. I think
that's a big thing too.
Sure.
Coming together and on both sides. So like for the audience, like creating something that allows the audience to be a part of it in some way, whether that's the way they interpret it or the way it makes them feel or whatever, but also getting together and doing a really hard freaking thing and being together all day, every day. I love the on-set bubble.
That's the addictive part.
I love it.
That's the addictive part.
That's why you get so depressed when production's done.
I know.
Like,
it is very sad.
In theater, we call it post-show depression.
See, that's what I was going to say.
In theater, I forget that you did.
We talked about theater versus movies.
Post-show depression is real because you literally spend all of your time
and
or your extra time.
And it doesn't live on.
No, and you're with these people, and you like you're not with them for very long, so you kind of have to escalate the process of like getting to know somebody, and then I don't know, something like cool but also like really sad about it at the same time.
My most favorite memory out of filmmaking, and this is going across 27 years, and there's a lot of good memories, a lot of terrible ones, but a lot of good ones. But my most favorite one was when we were shooting Rhineland, and we were driving to Effingham, Illinois. We were in Effingham, Illinois, and we had this big cast and crew dinner. And it was at this steakhouse, and I guess you're not part of my favorite memory because you weren't there. But it was just
one of the few days I wasn't.
One of the few. But it was such a great moment that we were all there, gathered together for this. You were there at that dinner,
yeah.
For
with Derek, slept in the same bed with him.
for this great dinner.
My leg was already blown off.
I mean, I just shot a movie where we all stayed in we were shooting on a military base, and we all stayed in the military bunkers all together, basically.
Yeah.
And it's dope.
Camaraderie is awesome.
It's so great.
Yeah,
we're all in this together.
It is. It is. And there is a production. That's why I like the cast and crew. And going back to theater,
yeah,
it's
the same way though.
But it's a short period of time that you will never experience again. That's done live. That is a bonding thing. But the cast and crew is there the entire time for that thing. Movies is a bonding experience in essence in segments, except for the crew and the director and those folks, and there's the key folks that experience the entire thing, that people come and go and leave and come and leave, so you have multiple experiences of those bondings, where the final product is a plethora of emotions and experiences for different people, where the final product some guy's on set for 3 days and he may have 2 seconds of film time. His experience when it's all done is what it is.
This is why I feel like I am going to be a hot mess in the best way when I get to do my first series regular role on a TV show, because I feel like it blends the two. It blends the two of theater.
It does. And
filmmaking. And I'm like, we're going to be wrapping on season 5, and I'm going to be a mess because I'm going to love all these people so much, hopefully.
Well, and that's why these long seasons, that's why it does that. That's why it's so impactful. Even for the audience, it's impactful.
I love when, I think the actress that played Michonne on The Walking Dead made a post when they were wrapping up Walking Dead. And it was everything that I just said, basically, like talking about feeling like family and like all this stuff. And I was like, oh, I can't wait for that experience. Like, I mean, I've already had that experience in many doses, right? But like, I'm a crier, by the way, so.
No.
Well, okay.
Well, this show's coming to an end. So.
Right.
I just get crying is my first instinct with almost every emotion. So all
right.
like when I get happy, I'm
Gullible,
crying.
crier.
I'm a cancer. I'm a cancer.
Same.
Actress.
You're a cancer too?
Talent, actor.
Well, those are the plus sides of filmmaking. That's why we do filmmaking.
Yeah.
Because you haven't experienced the dark side of filmmaking, which is when all that stuff is done and post is done and the movie is screened.
And everybody's moved on to the
and
next
everyone
job.
has moved on to the next job and everyone is having fun.
And you're back on set.
Then you are left holding this lump that you have to do something with.
Which is nothing
Yet.
until the finisher. I mean, that's a big thing.
I'm not talking about post. I'm talking about post-production.
I'm talking being a finisher, because there's a lot of turds that are out there that just never got finished. There's a lot of good projects that never got finished because
I'm talking about beyond that. I'm talking about the sales and marketing and distribution.
Yeah. Oh, so after it's
the
finished.
dark side.
That's the dark side.
That is the evil side. I agree. But let's take a step back to a lot of people shoot a lot of things that never get seen by anybody.
That is true.
Yeah.
And
That is
that's another sad reality. But the actors have moved on. They've been paid or not paid. They've had their experience. The crew has moved on, and they're working on other gigs now, and they're happy with their little family, and they're having their little experience again. And the director and the producers are left with whatever they're left with. Either A, they were never going to finish to begin with because they didn't have the vision, or they don't know how to do it, or they ran out of money, or whatever the reason is that's why I think 88 millimeter and a few people we work with separates us, because everything we've ever done we finished and we've put it out there.
That's pretty dope.
And that's a testament to you, Greg, for your attitude and how you were always saying, going, hey guys, you are not on my set because I'm doing something because it's not going to be put out there. Good, bad, or ugly, it's going to be out there. May not make a lot of money, it may not do whatever.
Usually good.
Usually good.
No, but right, it's the best we could do as a collective group, based on the resources and the talent we had. Mm-hmm. That's what films are. I mean, in essence, if you want to break it down.
I might be having a stroke.
Yeah, but that's what's key and separates the men from the boys. I think in independent filmmakers from that side of things. So
Yeah, we're men.
That's right.
and women and women. Yeah.
We've talked about a lot tonight.
We talked about a hell of a lot tonight. We
ran out of shit to say.
I mean, yes, and that's rare for you, Brock.
Oh, no, that'd be rare for you.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
You know what we covered tonight?
What's that?
What's that?
I think we talked about Brittany.
We did.
We covered that. Covered a lot of what she's doing. Welcome to the show, Brittany. Mm-hmm. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Gonna enjoy. I think our audience will enjoy having you here. And we talked about the highs,
the lows,
and the in-betweens
of
True.
Independent filmmaking. On the Indie Film Sucks podcast, brought to you by 88mm Productions, which you can find at indiefilmsucks.com. 88mmproductions.com. I mean, go there. You can buy Blu-rays of stuff, Red Night at Skies, Game of the Year. Also, go to indiefilmsucks.com if you want to submit your films to be reviewed by us on this podcast.
That's right.
And on the website.
It only works if you give us feedback. Not true, but thank you.
Okay.
I don't know what that meant.
It doesn't matter.
Good night.
All right, see y'all.
Indie Film Sucks. Indie Film Sucks. It's the Indie Film Sucks